folks. I just made it. How are you doing? It's another blistery day here. I'm at a Sheets Creek, but I'm going to basically just say it's the off night, and welcome your host, Mr. Mark Sweetman.
Wow, how about that? That was a quick, crisp, concise introduction. Thank you very much. Let me get you back on the stage here, though. Here we go. All right, there he is. There's Andy, my sidekick for the last, 4 years?
4 years? Anyway, I know, it keeps expanding. Okay, go ahead.
Well, 277 episodes. It's at least 4 years. Well, you weren't at the beginning, so.
Yeah, and we just used one joke.
Maybe it's 3 years. Yeah. Yeah, it's all been one long show. We just divided into 277 segments here. So
yeah, there we go. It's
anyway. Well, thanks for Jason for being there for us because you didn't show up until after we started. After we started the countdown. The countdown was on, good. and then you showed up. So, but anyway.
Well, cool.
So what's new? Do you want to talk about tomorrow's game live in front of everybody?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can talk about it. I don't know.
All right,
I got to tell you, I don't.
Go ahead. What I'm thinking. Don't take the bus. How about I just come get you?
Well, then you have to drop me off back in Ann Arbor.
I thought you lived in Ipsy. Don't you live over off of Washington?
Yeah. I live in downtown Ipsy, but then
I can take you back there.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's up to you, but you're going to be paying for parking too.
It's free tickets.
Yeah.
Give me your bus fare for gas, and we'll call it a deal, right?
All right. Sure.
And then, yeah, I'm not gonna take a bus down there. I'll pay for parking.
Okay. All right.
Although,
the bus. Go ahead.
What's that? All right.
I was just gonna say that.
Okay. We can talk.
You go first.
After the show. Yeah, we'll talk after the show. Are we on some kind of delay here? You sound fine to me.
You're kind of delayed. You're kind of like in a slow motion type thing.
I hate that. Oh well, whatever. Okay. Susan's not here. I have her poem in my hand. Are you ready?
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Here's Susan's poem. A one-topic poem. I don't think she's ever done this before, but she's got 8 lines on one topic. Judge woken up in the middle of the night, found hundreds of children put on a flight. To Guatemala is where Trump planned to send. Drama played out on a holiday weekend. Similar cases of immigrant children filed in other states. Sanctuary cities, Bondi says, should know their fates. Federal judge blocked the flights. You can't be on my Saturday nights. And that's her poem. It's all about the children that they had on the planes ready to go to Guatemala. And the judge stopped it.
They were unescorted by any of their adult parents?
Oh, I don't know. She gave me a link to the story, and I started reading it, and then I said I got other things to do. So,
and don't we all?
Knows about it, so
where's
let's get Jason out here? He's with us. I just had to. He was going to introduce me, but then you showed up at the last minute. Anyway, there he is. He went to the Eyes Wide Shut party.
I got it. Yeah.
Remember, the password is Fidelio.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Come on, I'm with the people.
Well, Jason, you can still do your introduction for him.
Well, I was going to bring up the fact that Susan wasn't here tonight because she's busy singing like a canary.
Yeah,
but she's not to the authorities.
Yeah, when we go to Tuesday night and Memorial Day, she's able to move, but after Labor Day, she goes back to rehearsals for their Christmas concert. So.
Oh dear. Well, like I say, I'm hanging out with all the people who own the airline that are shipping the children all over the place.
Who's that?
Okay, let me see. First children joke. 8:04 and 46 seconds. Just want to log that.
The airline doesn't have any sort of censor for you, like the schools do.
Well, the airline doesn't even have any windows in the airplane or numbers on the tail. It's just it's just get aboard. Come on, you got inside
Is
the
it an
white
airline?
van.
Why don't they use airlines? Why don't they just use troop
White vans down by
transporters?
the river. Anything along those lines will
Well,
do.
as long as it's cruel and people suffer, that's the important thing.
Well, it worked for the
That's right.
Ceausescu's. It's certainly, the North Koreans pulled it off with a great deal of aplomb. Why shouldn't we? I mean, it works. I
Well,
mean,
well,
you
our
know,
El Presidente does have a lot of respect and admiration for Kim Jong Un, so I guess so.
well, who doesn't? The difference is, of course, that he's got a big red button in his works. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a little North Korean flashback. Who doesn't want one of those?
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
I'm going
yeah.
to start doing Kim Jong Il doing the "I'm Lonely" song from Team America.
I'm
Perhaps.
lonely.
I'm so Hans
I'm
Blix.
so lonely.
Stand right there, Hans Blix.
Hans Blix. I hate you, Hans Blix. That was a very good. That was a really, really good show.
It was perhaps one of the greatest documentaries about modern American foreign policies I've certainly seen. I mean, just like I remember the first time I saw Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and I thought, when did they make this film about my parents?
Yeah.
And why didn't they include more liquor and guns? I mean, there's only one scene there, and that's of course when Richard Burton is shooting at Elizabeth Taylor with a gun that has the flag that says "Pow." But you don't know that till, of course, he pulls the trigger.
Shall we get the guests? Let's get the guests.
Shall we play get the? No liquor. No, I will not.
And I wonder how many people are of our age, right?
Yes.
Of our age that would have gotten heard Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, but our only experience of Who's Afraid of would be the big bad wolf, not Virginia
exactly.
Woolf. And so how many of us were singing Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Virginia Woolf, Virginia Woolf?
And that was what Sandra Denny was. Am I right about that? She was the one who played the wifey mouse, George. God,
I thought it was Sandra Day. Is it Sandra Day?
Sandra Day. Okay, can you remember how young George Siegel was in that movie? My God.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
George Siegel's what, 3,000 years old now? I mean, there's like Dirt, Mel Brooks.
He passed away, but I think it was like mid-80s. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just a child in that movie, and Elizabeth Taylor tells a story that when Mike Nichols was talking to her about taking this role, and he's like, I want you to lose some weight, and she's like, no, we should go the other way. I should be at least 10, 15 pounds overweight, and she was absolutely right. And of course, she starts the movie by doing a Betty Davis impression.
Yeah,
I mean,
great.
So of course, I'm someone who's already, coming from something of well, I don't want to say a dysfunctional family, but we were differently abled, as we might say, in this day and age. Yeah, I remember
from the.
I have data that was not included in Susan's poem.
Oh dear.
There were 10 unaccompanied Guatemalan minors, ages 10 to 17.
Well, they come up unaccompanied, going
apparently,
back.
Apparently, the rest. Once they got the 10 off, the rest of the Guatemalans were transferred, if they were even Guatemalan, or if they were even going to Guatemala. Let's see what that says, because I know they've been talking about sending them to Uganda, because Lord knows we can't just imprison them. You got to make sure their hands are cut off too. So send them to Uganda.
Yeah. Well, were you expecting me to object? I'm sorry. No. You did see the Eyes Wide Shut party behind me, right? I mean,
I did.
It's not an accident. I didn't. I mean, I could put like the happy clown thing behind me, but I don't know. That's a bit on the nose, if you know what I mean. A little on the.
I don't want to sway the results of that, but I do have like about $1,000 betting pool on when your first schoolyard reference is made.
Well, at the dealership where I've worked on my car, they have a little customer waiting area, and they used to have the world's most grim. It was like David Lynch designs the Hannibal Lecter play area for children. It was behind this glass booth. It looked like this little aquarium for children. in this, and I looked at this and I'm like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. I so wanted to just like take off my shirt and just sit in there and have someone take pictures of me while I hold a teddy shirtless. But even I have boundaries. And at a certain point, even the devil on my shoulder is like, listen, okay, that's a bit much. All right, you want to dial that back a little bit there, pal? Like, is that you, Satan? He's like, yeah, it is. So maybe you should listen.
Yeah,
huh?
it is.
You think?
Yeah,
you
that's
think?
exactly what.
It's John Lovitz as the devil.
Don't I look like Satan?
Exactly. It's John Lovitz going, of course I'm the devil. Look at me. I have horns. Do as you're told.
Yes, I'm the devil.
I'm the devil.
Yes, I'm the devil.
Exactly.
How are you? Okay, kids. I don't really know.
I would love to write.
I hate it when they get text.
I would love to write. Go ahead.
Now, so I think that when you meet the devil, or the devil is kind of like trying to help you in a sort of like how they help alcoholics. Yeah, they have
well, you got to understand. I think the devil is going to be a subjective sort of thing. For me, it's going to be like a topless Miss Jane Hathaway with good biceps.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's going to be like, for me, because it's like, oh, what, you're going to go to hell with lots of like dudes doing all, and I'm like, yeah, it's like, no.
Jane Hathaway.
No, you're going to be,
Hathaway with muscles.
You're going to be at the Janet Reno.
Going 72 virgins. Who needs that?
Yeah, no. They all look like Janet Reno and Madeleine Albright doing a scissors thing. And I'm like, no, what? No, this can't be. and everywhere I look, it'll just be one after the other. Much like when John Astin went to hell in that episode of Night Gallery, he plays the hippie who gets killed in the car accident and finds out that hell has got like elevator music and square people and I mean, Night Gallery was definitely inferior to Twilight Zone, but there were some moments.
Yeah.
There were.
Well, the Twilight Zone guy that, the gangster that goes to hell.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
Was Sebastian Cabot playing the devil.
Exactly.
I mean, that again, the casting against type, looking good. Hey, question. I don't. Honestly, I don't know the name. Did Leonard Nimoy ever do a Twilight Zone? I know he did an Outer Limits, but did he do a Twilight Zone?
Where's my phone? Shit.
Yeah, we gotta.
Let's. All right. I'm gonna find out.
Outer Limits.
Because we know Shatner did too. He did the guy talking to the little devil predictor thing.
Well, he did the Twilight Zone. He was the originator of the crazed passenger on the
airplane with
the gremlin trying to crash the engine.
Yeah, and he did the little.
There was a terror at 35,000 feet, something like that.
Right after he had
that alone. If he had done just that, you know what I mean, he'd still be remembered. I mean,
you had to love the way they sort of set that up because the intro is just him having a light conversation with wifey saying, "Now that you're out of the institution, you're feeling much better." He's sort of like, "Yes, actually, I'm fine. Everything's going to be fine now. We've worked it all out. Let's just have this nice little plane ride and everything will be great." And then he's also in the little booth in the restaurant with the devil that's keeps feeding him little tidbits and he keeps giving nickels to the machine or whatever. And
he can't escape. He can't escape because he's
cursed
by
and he was in the Outer Limits in an episode called Cold Hands, Warm Heart, where he plays an astronaut who's possessed by an alien, and
oh wow, I can't remember that episode. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's where he goes. He's the first astronaut to Venus, and they show lots of V2 B-roll because when you go to Venus, it's always in a German rocket. I mean, what else would you go to Venus in, right? I mean,
of course.
When it lands, it's easy. You just play the rocket in reverse, and there you go. And,
you're just doing what Chaplin did to do all of his scenes. So.
Exactly, it worked for him. It'll work for you.
Exactly.
Leonard Nimoy appeared in the television series Night Gallery in the episode titled She'll Be Company for You in 1972.
Nice.
He played a widower who receives a mysterious magical cat after his death. He played the lead role in the season 3 installment.
You know, he could play a heavy when he wanted to, and usually play it pretty well. You know, and you know, and it's something that he and Shatner both, I don't think, really get enough credit for. Those guys really could do voiceover work like nobody's business. I mean, good voiceover work is not easy to come by. I mean, for years, Nimoy did it, you know, with his In Search Of series, you know, and again, Shatner used to do documentaries. He did an incredible documentary on the atom bomb, and you know me, I'm all about the bomb.
There's a voiceover guy that did a role.
Yeah.
There's a voiceover guy that did a role, and he could never do voiceovers again because his voice was so.
Maybe
distinct.
it's my phone.
Are you ready?
I'm getting you guys in some strange sort of way. It looks like you're possessed.
Well, you're frozen. You're frozen.
You're frozen. So what's the voiceover guy doing, Mark? Fill me in here.
His name is Alan Reed. You know the name?
Not offhand. What did he do?
Yabba dabba doo.
Oh my God!
After Fred Flintstone, he could only get commercials
right
as Fred Flintstone. Whenever they got Fred Flintstone to sell something, Chesterfields was one of the products that they got Fred Flintstone to advertise. But
he was also an actor, and I remember I can remember this from when I was real little. He was an actor on some TV show, like The Name of the Game or something like that.
Yep,
and my mother pointed.
Yeah,
and I remember him naming it. She said, "Listen to him," and we go, "Oh my God, that's Fred Flintstone." You go, "Yeah, that's him." You know,
couldn't get away from it. There you go.
And who played Barney Rubble?
I don't know who did do Barney.
Mel Blanc.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I'm gonna go out and come back in.
And Mel Blanc had another voice. Mel Blanc had another voice on that show. Can you name it?
No, I know Harvey Korman did Gazoo, the character they brought in to help save the show.
Yeah, here we go. We had to wait until Happy Days to get Jump the Shark when really it should have been introduced Kazoo is what it should have been.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a young Harvey Korman.
Yes.
Who, by the way, Carol Burnett talked about him, and you know, I can't imagine Harvey Korman being a hard time, but I suppose everyone has a bad day.
Dino was the other voice that Mel Blanc did.
All right. That Dino's
I didn't want to forget. I always forget whenever we go off into chasing rabbit hole.
There you go.
So I want to get that in. All right, go finish your story. Go ahead.
No, it's just Carol Burnett talked about there was an episode where Tim Conway was the guest star, and Harvey Korman was just a real bastard for the whole week. And was it terrible in the performance? And he said, I want off this show. And she said, fine, you're fired. And I guess a couple of days went by and he came crawling back on bended knee because I don't know, Carol, I don't know anything about her. Okay. I don't know the woman, but she did at the time was a woman heading up a primetime variety TV show. I imagine she didn't suffer fools. You probably couldn't.
She and Lucille Ball and Mary Tyler Moore were powerhouses.
Yes. So she Mary Tyler Moore and Grant Tinker owned MTM.
Yep.
And of course Lucy
and Desi.
And she had to buy out Desi after the divorce.
I'm sure she could afford it.
Well, she had actually they go into that in this one book about Star Trek about how she had to go in, she had to mortgage. Or not mortgage, but she had to go in and refinance the studio, which at the time had like 3 shows on television and a couple more in development, but it put a big hit on their cash flow.
Yeah, she did not die. She did not die poor.
When she turned around, she sold it to Paramount a couple of years later for like $30 million.
Yeah, why not?
She and Desi bought it for like $2 million. She eventually bought him out for $5 million. Back when $5 million was actually real money. I'm sure you and the missus have $5 million at home right now. I'm sure you guys just, throw stacks of $100 bills at each other all the time. Who doesn't, right?
Only
in this
when
in this month. Well, of course, yeah. That's exactly.
Exactly. I'll crawl into bed and I'll go, where's our wads of cash? I can't do that. I can't
And
do this on bed sheets. I need piles of money to roll around.
Right. She's got a trebuchet of $100 bills just waiting to, in Wile E. Coyote fashion, just to push the button for the ball to roll down, to hit the thing that comes down and from the Acme trebuchet company and throw the giant thing of cash at you and the missus to shower the room.
Well, here's something, and I guess this happens quite a bit for people like us, because we've led a pretty Spartan life. When you're growing up as a comic and you're making some years $10,000 and $12,000 a year, which you could live on. Back in Detroit, back in the early '80s, you could live on that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you guys were raising a family too.
Yeah, and so I know, but by that time we're making real. By the time we had kids, we're making real money.
There you go.
And we were still living like this isn't going to last. We can't depend on this being forever. So we're just going to keep putting money away. Well, shit. Now we're going to have our what they call required minimum withdrawals from your accounts.
Yep.
Our advisor is saying things like, "Yeah, you better be careful. You'll be taking out like $85,000 a year." We're going, "What? What are you talking about?" He says, "Well, the way
whatever
you're invested,
you do, Mark,
the way you're invested." He says the way you're invested, even if it's conservative and you only make 5% a year, you're going to be taking out. We're going to be making more money than you're taking out. No shit. And he says, "Yeah, but the problem with that is that the government, if it's tax deferred, like IRAs or 401ks,
right? Yeah,
the government's going to take. They have a schedule on which you have to start taking out at 73."
Right.
And you better hope you outlive that money, because it gets taxed heavily by both the government will tax it for you, and then when you roll it over to your kids, they'll get taxed on it too, even worse. So,
well, don't tell the children that money's coming out, because children will find a way.
You've heard my joke. You've been in the club, and I told my joke about our will.
No, that's right. Yeah, there's 8 kids, and 7 of them are in the will.
No, I have 8 kids. I have 8 kids, and only 7 of them are in the will, and we won't tell them which one isn't. So.
Exactly.
I haven't mowed the lawn in 15 years. I haven't shoveled a sidewalk in 20. So,
hey, I know Andy bombed out. I need you to cover this for just 2 minutes. I just got to pull something out of the oven. It's the soul of my enemy. I don't want to overcook it.
All right. Well, I'll take this time. Go ahead.
Usually there's 4 of us. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, this is the off night, everybody. We meet here every Monday night at 8:00, but today's Tuesday. Why is that? Well, yesterday was Labor Day, and you know what? We were just very busy yesterday. I didn't get off of work until 7:30. I never would have made it home by 8:00. So we decided to. We've done this before. We've done a Tuesday night on holiday weekends, especially when if I'm in Los Angeles and it's a holiday weekend, I'm going to spend it with my family. So we've done it on Tuesday nights before. Cool. And one time I was in, let's see, that was LA. And I think one time I was in New York, we did it on a Tuesday night. Anyway, while you were gone, Jason had to go take something out of the oven. So he left us with the eyes wide shut scene there. So,
I see. He had to go do what?
The only thing that's good about that is a good background color. If I didn't know what it was, I kind of like the colors,
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do anything to interrupt with the show there, but
no, Andy came back just as you were leaving, so it worked out great.
Perfect. Yeah, I got back late from the gym today, and again, I had to, before I could even, I wanted to eat, but I literally had to lay down because my head was spinning so much, and I'm down to my last 2 days worth of medication. I mean the legal stuff, and yeah. I'm sticking with the fentanyl. We're sticking on. So I try to quit fentanyl. I keep getting sick. So I just figured I'll just we'll just hang on to that. No, I put something into the oven just before the show, just because I have to eat something because I got to go to work tonight. And
I get it.
Yeah, I'm not diabetic yet.
Completely get it.
Yeah, they've tested me, and so far I'm kind of riding the line, but I'm trying to lose some weight, and we'll see how that works out, and whatever. I hate this shit. I want to be 19 again. I want to be 19. I want to weigh 195 pounds with rock hard flat abs and nice
rock hard
shoulder.
flat abs.
Rock hard flat abs was my grinder name for years. No one bought it, but it was still fun to have. And yeah, and I want to be out there just with like my long hair and my Led Zeppelin T-shirt and
well, I've known Andy since we were both younger than 30, but I've only known you the last 12 or 13 years. So
yes, when I've been a fat pig for the whole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. No, I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. Let's just call it what it is.
I don't think I've ever seen a picture of you from your youth, man.
Oh, well, it's available on various websites, but you'll be on an FBI watch list. Let me see here. I know I've got one somewhere here of me as a.
They're still looking for you. Is that the deal?
Well, I was told it was a legitimate film at the time. Listen, you're 16, you need the money. What are you gonna do, right? I mean,
I get it.
You just do what you got to do when you do it, and hey, you move on. That's the way life goes sometimes. Hold on here. I got to put my magic screen there. Oh, there we go. Yeah. This is exciting. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm getting a picture here of me when I'm really young. And not the one with me in the pentagram. No, not that one. There's a picture of Madeline Kahn. She looks better than I ever did, truth be told. Who didn't love Marilyn Kahn, by the way? Or Madeline Kahn.
Madeline Kahn.
Not Marilyn was her half sister that no one wants to talk about. Especially after the locker room incident where she got very angry and then burned down the school with her, or maybe that was someone else. Never mind. I'm rambling.
Yeah. That's okay. Central Casting sent me to a porn thing, but they just wanted me to remain completely clothed, Don't know why.
There you go. Yeah. At any rate,
Central Casting, there's something you don't hear much anymore. Nobody talks about. Trump's the only one that talks about Central Casting.
Exactly. Is Central Casting still happening, or is that done?
That's done. That's done.
Wow.
It's all the casting is done by casting agents now. It's all third party. You keep that out of the studio system. One, it allows you to when they're part of the studio system, the central casting, all those people belong to. Oh, we got 2 Jasons on here now. What's the deal with that? Let me get the other guy on here. We got 2 Jasons. Let's see which one we need to take off.
There you go.
All right, I see which one we need to take off now. Okay,
this is the proof of life, Jason.
I like that. Okay, there it is.
I'm alive, and they are treating me well. Please, I don't know how to do torture with my eyes, but no, nothing has happened yet. Send $25,000 to my address on Easy Street, and they will release me. Oh, God. I'm at the Joe the Animal Bouncy House of Corrections on Zug Island.
I love the Joe the Animal Bouncy House of Corrections.
I got to use that in front of Joe. I'm sorry. I just got to lay that on him, man. He's so much fun.
Well, let's see. There's a this coming up week. There's a
show.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I'm serious. I'm going to try and do my best. I've been out of the hospital.
I don't
for
MC
3 weeks.
it anymore. I don't book it anymore. So I'm pretty much
out of it.
Well, I'm emeritus. I'm MC emeritus.
There you go. Well, are you still on the boat?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm there through the 3rd week in September.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Everybody says, they always say, why don't you do color tours in the fall? And I said, everybody who's been on the boat when there's colors in the water have frozen their ass off. So I mean, it's the type of thing you do once. So if you're asking why we don't do it, you've never done it. Because
I'm your host, EJ Smith, and we'll be
exactly.
Don't worry, there are no icebergs typically this time of year.
Is EJ Smith the one that did? Have you heard from the iceberg? Is that the one?
No, he was a captain of the Titanic.
Oh, okay. There was a poet. There was a poet, a British poet that did a poem called "Have You Got Any Word from the Iceberg?" In other words, in other words, he plays a penguin, and the penguin's family was on the iceberg, and everybody's concerned about the Titanic. But he wants to know if you got any word from the iceberg. It's hilarious. It's very funny. I'm going to have to look it up.
Oh dear. Well, you know, again, Titanic humor. Who even remembers anymore? You know.
It was 1912. It's 113 years ago, for crying out loud.
Well, yeah, when I was in my mid-teens. I mean, it was great. God,
that's true.
I mean, you know, I watch oh gosh, what's that movie? Once Upon a Time in America, I think it is. Is that Zeffirelli? Yeah, and it's like, you know, 9.5 hours long. And
it's very long. It's one of those movies that every time it comes on, I can't stop watching it.
Exactly. Yeah. But it starts in like 1910 or something along those lines. And of course, the other day I watched Godfather 2 on my phone.
Another great film.
Yes, to watch on the phone. And again, the scenes of De Niro back in the days, young Don Corleone, you know. Yeah, and the cars in the 50s that Michael is driving around in are just something else. And and of course Lee Strasberg in there playing the evil Meyer Lansky.
Oh yeah.
This cast.
If I see money on my table, I know I have a partner.
Partner. If I don't, let me tell you about this kid, Mo. He looked up to me.
He looked up to me. Lee Strasberg.
He was strong-headed, always saying things he shouldn't have said. And one day, someone put a bullet in his eye. I didn't ask who. I said, "This is the life we have chosen, and it had nothing to do with business."
Oh, this cast is unbelievable.
I know.
Once Upon a Time in America.
In America, it's amazing. I know.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro, Elizabeth McGovern, James Woods,
James Wood,
James Pesci, Jennifer Connelly. Oops, wait a minute, gotta go back. Jennifer Connelly, Tuesday Weld.
Yeah.
Treat Williams.
Yes. No, it's one of those movies. It's
Danny Aiello, Williams Forsythe. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And it goes on forever. But yeah, you can just dip in anywhere because it doesn't really go anywhere. It's just in typical Italian fashion. They're not going to be. They're not the most linear people in the world. That's kind of what gives them their charm. You know, you didn't get modernist cube architecture out of Italy. You know
Estelle Harris was in it.
Yeah.
God.
She played George Costanza's mom on Seinfeld.
Oh God.
What else we got here?
And of course,
George Costanza.
His dad was what's his name? Was it why can't I remember his name? What you know?
Jerry Stiller?
Yes, thank you. Ben Stiller's dad.
Jerry Stiller.
Jerry Stiller and Ann Mira, the Ace Trucking Company. The probably the first improv troupe that I was exposed to. I don't know, because they used to be on Carson on a regular basis. You know, that was always one of the. And
well, they were part of the Compass Theater, and they also moved into the Second City.
Sergio Leone was the director.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Sergio Leone.
All right. Sergio Leone. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it was either him or Zeffirelli did Last Tango in Paris, which of course we all know just for one line, if only one line, about something about getting butter.
Was it? Well, they put salt. They put salt in the bags to weight him down, so when the cops came by, there wasn't any beer, and then after the salt melted, they could just scoop up the alcohol.
There you go. God, yeah, again, and nowadays everything is about yet another version of Superman, another Marvel movie, another exploration of video games that have exploded into cinema that somehow or another we're supposed to find enlightening.
Name a movie about the Purple Gang.
Ooh,
I know.
Ooh, you got
Here's another one. A movie about Billy Durant.
Yeah. Because you know, in all the old mobster movies, you always heard this one line: "We're bringing a special hitter in from Detroit."
Yes.
Yes, you know that's
Yeah.
They
that's
weren't special, and they weren't.
Yeah.
As it turns out, that the hitmen from Detroit were
No,
sloppy
never.
and
Yeah,
not really that good. Or
no, it never worked out. I mean, it was sort of like
you know what it
the
was is that they knew that they'd return from Detroit, and they'd go, "Oh, I don't want to go to Detroit."
Yeah, it was like the
we'll just let him
team.
go. He's in Detroit already. We don't need to apprehend him.
No, I do that routine for people who are like when they're in my cab and I find out they're from like South California or whatever and they're up here and I'm like, what? Oh, witness protection, right? Is that what you're on the run from there's someone in Little Armenia going, no, they suffer enough. No, it's a horrible place.
Let them go to Detroit.
Were they in
Do you-
Miami, they would be dead already. But in Michigan, no.
If they cross over to Windsor, they're dead.
They're
But if
dead.
they're in Detroit, that's fine.
They'll be, yeah, you know, they suffer
So now-
enough.
So now I have a question for you. Why the Purple Gang is not in a film? Do you think it's
What?
because they were a Jewish gang?
That's it.
Well, that's what Once Upon a Time in America was about.
was all about the mafia. The
It was about Jewish
mafia.
gangsters in New York.
Yeah.
But the Purple Gang is, I mean, it's a great story because they didn't start out as gangsters. They
No.
started out as they created sugar for rum makers.
Yeah.
That's what they were called, the Sugar Hill Gang at first.
Yeah.
And they created they created ingredients. They created ingredients for people that made alcohol. And then when Prohibition came along, they said, "Well, we got nobody to sell to, so we need to create a market."
We'd like to thank Mark Sweetman for channeling our friend Sam Greenfield from Beyond the Grave.
There we go.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking about him. Today. I miss him so much.
So much. I know.
I talk to him now 3 or 4 times a week from the last 4 months. He was either in hospital or rehab, all but 3 days.
Yeah.
During that from Christmas until he died on May 1st. And I talked to him 2 or 3 times a week. And I didn't, obviously I didn't know he was going to die. He sounded healthy as a horse. He was on our show Monday night and he's gone by Wednesday,
Right.
And so it was, and when you talk on Sam on a phone, you thought he talked a lot on our show. Get him on a phone. He'll hold you up for 45 minutes to an hour. You know what I mean? We could have done this show 3 times a week if it was just the two of us.
Well, if he, I really wanted to do something with like you and him doing like a morning news wrap up. I mean, sadly,
Chili and I had talked about that because we saw how YouTube was becoming a place for podcasters.
Yeah.
And we thought, you know what, we could really, and now that you can put YouTube on your phone and just listen to it. And our phones, my Bluetooth hooks up to the Bluetooth in my car, so I don't have to listen to local radio anymore. I can listen to whatever I can get on my phone.
Well, that's what I've been doing for years. I listen to podcasts, I listen to all kinds of things through the Bluetooth at work or whatever. And I just thought, you and Sam doing like a 30-minute, news thing 3 times a week.
Yeah, that would be great.
Oh,
there we go.
Yeah, I know.
What are you gonna do?
We still need to get together and go through some old episodes and put together a Sam reel because
one of the things on this boat that I do, we can't insult the customers, but every time the other pilots on the boat, they love after we do a tour and we get everyone off that boat and then we do the 2:00 tour. I'll start doing impressions of the person that we hated on the last trip. And they're just howling because they know exactly what I'm doing, but I can't offend anybody because that person was on the last hour. They're not there to hear my disdain for them. But
no. I often do that in the driving the cab around. Hey, Andy, are you? Speaking of again, inside talk, kids, Uber time here. Are you tending to work around Ann Arbor, or are you just kind of going wherever Uber sends you? And I ask this because, as we've all been saying, Uber has been screwing its drivers to the wall lately.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if you're like finding greener pastures, or is it all pretty much a dead, overgrown septic tank of living hell?
Well, what I did this last week was I let the wind carry me, and I got a long order up to.
Suddenly, he's Julie Andrews out on the Alps. Rolling around.
There you go. The hills are alive with the sound of Hoover. With nobody getting paid their proper wage. Yeah,
Dick,
it's go ahead.
Dick Van Dyke's not dead, but yet we're gonna help push him
So
over
long,
just a little.
farewell, and Uber sucks the big one.
Yeah. So I basically just I use the truck stops to sleep overnight.
Yeah.
So I didn't waste money trying to get back to Ann Arbor or Ipsy.
Right.
And I just kept working. Got 6 hours of sleep and then started working the next morning. And I got to hit most of. Go ahead.
I'd say it's still pretty much Uber hell, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like it didn't really adjust. I didn't really make that much more money. I mean, it was like it's essentially. And I'm just. No. No, I don't think so.
No better. All right. Hey, how?
But I did get to see. How old am I?
Yeah.
64.
Oh,
so I'm heading into 65 at in April.
So you'll get in April.
So I'm trying to get my
you'll get Medicare. You'll get Medicare
set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
You'll get Medicare.
Trying my Medicare set up, and I'm gonna try and get into driving tour bus.
Oh, that'll be great.
And doing.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, doing tours and doing
I want to get a ferry. Here's my plan.
I'll volunteer.
I get a ferry. Thank you.
Right here.
I get a ferry to go between the port of Detroit and the port of Windsor, and then make the downtown areas of both cities an international zone.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just going to get a little power boat.
You only need your passport if you travel outside downtown.
Okay.
Because whoever goes to Windsor wants to go past downtown. Whoever goes to Detroit wants to go
passport, stuff like that.
Let's face it.
That's not too bad.
We go to the Windsor Ballet. Okay, let's just say
the plan B is also to become a tour guide in Portugal. So.
No, that'll work. Do you speak Portuguese?
I can speak I know obrigado. I know one word, obrigado. Thank you.
What is that?
Know? So I'm in.
Sue's mom was a missionary in Brazil before she got married and kids, and so she spoke Portuguese.
That's not. Right. It is different, but not that much different from Spanish.
Not that much. Well, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, kind of all the same language, really.
You realize knowing just one word of Portuguese is a lot like saying you've got a hat that says lion tamer, right? When you're, my plan is actually similar to Mark's.
I can't hear a word you guys are saying.
No, don't worry. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that good either, but it wasn't that bad. I intend to start smuggling cigarettes into Canada across Lake St. Clair. I know it's a very 90s sort of thing, but you know.
Now, what can you smuggle back over here just so your boat's not empty on the way back?
Gordon Lightfoot CDs.
Yeah. Good luck selling a CD in this day and age.
Well, you know, and all I gotta do is say I'm Gordon Lightfoot's ex-roadie, and they'll look at me and go, "Yeah, I know. Actually, that makes sense."
How about Two Cats?
Yeah, you know.
How about some Two Cats? How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
My favorite Eric Tunney line was, "I love these old bands that are doing reunion tours. It's Gary Puckett and the Union Gap. Only now the lead singer is the drummer."
Yeah, exactly. No,
how do you guys fall apart?
I did like the fact that Ozzy Osbourne came out in like a wheelchair and did one last concert and then died 3 days later. It's like, okay,
that's like Charles Schultz drew his last Peanuts cartoon.
Yeah,
and Andy Rooney did his last 60-minute segment, and all of them died within a week of their last day of work. You know,
and of course, one of my favorite ones is he used to do Letters from America. He used to introduce Masterpiece Theater, the British dude, Alistair Cook. He used to do this thing on BBC. I used to love to listen to it when I was working nights at Yellow Cab. He'd do Letters from America, which was this audio essay he had done for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did his final one and was gone, a few days after that. But and I realize, again, for all you people, all you youngins out there, in audio essays where someone just talks for 5, 10, 15 minutes covering a subject. You just sit and listen to it. It's horrifying, I know. I mean, there's no flashing lights. There's no outside
Nobody can talk.
stimuli.
Nobody can talk Dick Shawn though.
Just a
dying
voice in
during
the
his-
dark coming and talking to you.
Dick Shawn died doing his "I'm dying up here" bit.
Which you got to admit, again, a tad too on the nose, but we're still talking about it, right?
We still are.
I mean, come on, right? I mean, the only thing that's really going to top that, and I think you know where I'm going with this, the last episode of Newhart, where he wakes up in bed with Susan,
Right?
You know, and she says, no more Japanese food before you go to bed.
Yes.
You know, that right there.
They're all too many kimonos. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, too many kimonos. Oh God. Oh God. There's like these.
Did you ever see Bob Newhart when he did his? He had a regular character on that show that was on at the end of his life.
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
I did not get to see
that. He was Professor. Yeah, he was Professor Proton. I think that was called.
Yeah. Well, basically, he was a takeoff on Mr. Science or Professor Science, and the kids. And all the kids adored him, and that's how they got into science and everything. And then it turns out he wasn't all that he was cracked up to be. And then they had him. Remember, they killed him off, and then he was so popular they brought him back, and he played a ghost during. Now there's your jump on the shark right there. You got Bob.
There you go.
Playing a ghost, you know?
Yeah,
but they had him dressed up as a Star Wars character.
Yes,
like he was Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, yeah. He was also great in Elf. Did you ever see the movie Elf with
as a Papa? Yeah, Papa Elf.
God, he was so good in that. That and again, going back to the heyday of his career when he's on the phone as Sir Walter Raleigh, trying to get him to invest in tobacco.
Yes.
What do? You stuff it into this little tube. You put one end in your mouth and the other end you set it on fire. Yeah. You just suck on it. Yeah.
You suck on it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Or trying to talk Abe Lincoln out of doing the Gettysburg Address. Hey,
no, put it on an envelope. Put it on an envelope. Gabe, I told you 1,000 times. Put it on an envelope. It makes a better thing.
The genius of that man is he's only giving you half. By doing what he did, he made you think he was, again, he and Don Rickles were the opposite sides of the same coin, because Don was always on the other end. He was just fire hosing you with everything and anything, right? And of course, these two men knew each other, but their comedic styles are total opposites, yet they're very complementary.
They would take their wives and they'd vacation together.
Yeah.
Rickles and Newhart. Yeah.
And just, again, being able to do that sort of complementary style with each other was a wonderful thing,
I ran into Bob Newhart once when I lived out there. It was in Brentwood. I was going to, I think Susan and I were going to see a movie. He was in the same line to see what, I can't remember what we were. Oh, I think we were seeing Good Morning Vietnam.
Okay.
With Robin Williams.
Wow.
He was there with his wife to see it too. Yeah.
It's weird to think of him standing in line for a ticket. It just,
isn't it? That is kind of weird. You'd think like, hello, this is Bob Newhart. Is there a theater I can get into where I can't be seen by anyone?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Can you just kind of escort me in and put me in there?
But if it was in California, I mean, that's the place where everybody there's a star in every line, So it's like, it seems natural. Just get in line, whatever,
Yeah.
To do this, instead of doing the star bit, just go out and do the line stuff. So. Because everybody has a limo. Everybody's trying to get into the show. Everybody's put on this air sort of thing, and having him out there just kind of going like, "I'll get in my line. I just get in the line." Kind of cool.
And perhaps one of the most meta takeoffs on that from the film Soap Dish, not as big as it should have been, with Sally Fields. I believe it was Sally Fields and Whoopi Goldberg, where Whoopi Goldberg played the lead writer of the soap. And every now and then Sally Fields would have to be like on an escalator somewhere, and Whoopi Goldberg would go, "Oh my God, look, it's her," and create a big stir because she needed the affirmation of the crowd. And that's also a movie, if I'm not mistaken, that Gary Morton has a nice little role in, again, a good actor when you would, of course,
Gary Morton.
His best role,
Lucille Ball.
we all know it. It was in the Mel Brooks movie Finding America, where he plays the casino boss, and Albert Brooks goes in to pitch him the idea of giving the money back.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh man. Oh man. The Soap Dish has got a lot of stars in it too.
Soap Dish was a good movie. It got panned.
Yeah,
but it was a good movie.
Listen to this. All right. Sally Field, Robert Downey Jr., Whoopi Goldberg, Kevin Kline, Kathy Moriarty, Terry Hatcher, Elizabeth Shue, Kathy and Jimmy, Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Gary Marshall, Tim Choate.
Gary Marshall, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay, right.
Ben Stein.
Right.
What's we got here? And these are names I don't recognize. Who else? John Tesh, Lisa Gibbons.
Yep. No, it was one of those movies everyone wanted to get a little piece of and get in. And they say it should have blown up. It should have been a much bigger movie than what it was. But whatever. What are you going to do? I just remember it being a fun send up of soap operas.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was like they talked about the all the various ways people get killed and stuff, and I was like, and Klein was pretty good.
Yep.
What Klein and Newhart were in that coming out one where Klein played the teacher that was outed.
Oh, was
but
that
he didn't
the one?
know he was.
Yeah, but he didn't know he was going to be outed. Yeah.
He didn't know. Yeah, he didn't assume that he was gay. He didn't know he was gay or whatever.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But he wasn't outed. And then also had that.
In and Out is the name of the film.
There we go. Yeah, and Bob Newhart played the principal of the school there.
That was directed by Frank Oz.
Oh, that's
really?
Right. Yeah.
Fozzie Bear directed that one.
All right.
But they also had Magnum PI in there. That was another one too.
It was written by Paul Rudnick. Paul Rudnick is?
Yeah.
The name sounds familiar.
Would you ever work with Paul?
Did I work with Paul? No.
I'm trying to think. I might have the wrong guy. I might be thinking of the wrong guy.
But, at any rate,
I am thinking of never mind. I don't know him. I thought I knew him.
Who played the actor who outed him? Remember, it was sort of a takeoff on Tom Hanks.
Matt Dillon.
Was it Matt Dillon? Okay, it was either Matt Dillon. It was someone who was sort of the flavor of the moment.
It was Matt Dillon.
Okay.
Kevin Kline, Joan Cusack, Tom Selleck, Matt Dillon, Debbie Reynolds, Wilford Brimley, Bob Newhart. Wow.
Yes. Although we remember Wilford Brimley more for his role in The Thing, the remake.
Yeah.
No, he was
that in Cocoon.
Cocoon was his big role.
I know, but I thought The Thing was more of a family film myself, but that's
especially him. Go ahead.
The part where the head sprouts legs and then starts crawling into the and Russ Moffat is saying, I don't want to spend the rest of this winter tied to this fucking chair after the thing blew up next to him. And again, a John Carpenter. I forget who did the special effects for that, but it wasn't Tom Savini, but it was one of the sort of special effects gore masters that Dana Gould has spoken of these films as anyone listens to Dana's podcast, not to promote someone else's work, but
Dana's a good guy.
He is.
Yeah, I know who Dana and I sat in the back of the Improv one day going, we called ourselves the has-beens that never were. Of course, you know what?
Just hanging out.
He went on to be a showrunner at The Simpsons. So
yeah. So he doesn't have to do. He's still doing stand-up, but he doesn't have to do anything ever again.
He really doesn't. I mean, my best example of people that show you how much you can make in Hollywood at a short period of time. Steve Bluestein was the opening act for Lola Falana in Vegas.
Right.
He had two major writing roles that he bought a house in Bel Air and a house in Palm Springs with. And when you hear these, you'll realize I got to get out to Hollywood. One was the Brady Bunch Comedy Hour. After the series ended, they did a variety.
Yeah, they did the variety show. Yeah.
They tried to do Carol Burnett with skits and songs and guest stars and stuff like that.
Oh,
And the other one was a ripoff of Candid Camera for Fox called Totally Hidden Video.
oh.
Between those two shows, he retired. I mean, he made a lot working for Lola Falana, but not like he did in television.
Well, if you're doing something for Lola Falana, are you getting paid like $1,000 a night or 2,000?
No, not a night. I mean, probably 3,000 or 4,000 a week though.
Because Greg Fitzsimmons
in Vegas,
right? I mean, that's a show.
That's like 8 shows a week. They do.
Yeah.
They do 5 nights a week, and then 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, type of thing.
Okay. Because I remember Greg Fitzsimmons, who again was one of the early writers for the Ellen Show.
Funny guy.
And they want him to do they wanted him to go out and do the opening. And he said, I don't want to do the open. I don't want to do the warm up. And they said, it's $1,000 a show. And he's like, what time do you need me here?
Yeah, exactly.
What time? There we go.
Yeah. How long do you need me to go? It was like 1,000 or 2,000. I mean, it was a substantial. It was like $10,000 a week. I mean, that's
hand me the Wonder Bread.
That's good.
Get me the Wonder Bread account. That's that old joke.
Yeah, yeah. I just again,
we'd like you to change the word in the Lord's Prayer to give us this day our daily beer.
Yeah, there we go.
Hold on, I'll get back to you next week.
Well, to recount a story from our dear friend Sam.
Sister Annette, please bring in the Wonder Bread account.
When Sam relates the story of Andrew Lloyd Webber and Jesus Christ Superstar, demanding they change not a tittle, not a comma, nothing, and they remind him they're paying him $750,000. He's like, do as you will. do as you, whatever. Back at the time when $750,000 was a lot of money, I mean,
exactly.
Again, as we've already established, the Sweetmans throw this kind of money around at each other whenever they're feeling frisky. They'll load up the cash net above their domicile and just release it in a shower of currency that just comes down on them.
Yeah. And then when in the colder months we say, "Sweetie, would you like to add some cream of wheat to our money, to our cash tonight?" You know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that joke? I could have said anything. And it's funny because you're adding something to cash to roll around. As
a tornado of woolen sleeping garments and currency, begins its illicit blending in some horrific fashion. But
Shirley and I used to talk to young comics about that all the time. It doesn't matter what you say there. That's the twist is the funny thing.
Yeah.
Just don't make whatever you're saying. Don't say, do you want to throw coins in with the dollar bills? Don't say that. That's not as far off. You got to make it as far away from dollar bills as possible.
Right. Well, like I say, this.
Now another option of that would be, a lot of people think of dollar bills as being what you tuck in the stripper's G-string.
Exactly.
but I like to tuck it into my dentist belt.
Hey, listen, Doc. A little extra shot of Novocaine. Here's a little something. Make that happen. Okay. Think you can do that for me, there, Dolly? Think
a little extra gas? A little extra gas for me? Would that be okay?
I mean, a little.
Yeah, really.
Call you painless for a reason, I'm hoping, so here you go.
Yeah, we're hoping anyway.
Yeah, again,
I gotta hope.
One of my favorite scenes from the original movie MASH, where they talk about John Shuck as painless Polish, the best equipped dentist in the United States Army.
There you
go. And we all remember, how can we forget the nurse's shower scene with Hot Lips Houlihan, portrayed by
Sally Kellerman.
Sally
Strollers.
Sally Kellerman.
Yeah. No, Sally Kellerman in the movie.
That's right.
But we saw Sally Kellerman was right. There were a lot of actresses that hung out at the Improv a lot of that. Sally Kellerman was one of them.
Wow.
Eve Plum was
okay. Yeah.
Who else was out there? Oh, if I don't remember, Sean Young. Remember Sean Young?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was great in the first Dune movie, although everyone hates it. I thought she was fine, but whatever, you know.
I'm trying to think of who else we used to, but there were a lot of people that everyone recognized when they came into the room.
Wasn't Sean Young in Blade Runner? Doesn't she play the fembot?
She was in Blade Runner, and she was in No Way Out with Kevin Costner.
Great movie.
Where he plays the Russian spy.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you look at the computer technology that they're using, and of course that's the payoff at the end where they figure out that he's Yuri and all that. And then you look at what they're doing with AI right now. It's the same thing, only it just takes, instead of taking days, it'll only take a few minutes. This the stuff that they're coming forward with is genuinely frightening.
Time to go, fellas.
Oh dear.
Every Monday night at 8 o'clock.
All right.
See you again next week. Be here or be square. Right.
There you go. Take it easy, folks.